Hey guys, so forgive me. I don't have my whole shebang, don't have my mics, don't have my lights. I just want to do a quick video to kind of just go. Sorry, I'm in my workout clothes. I'm really about to work out. But just wanted to do a quick video to go over this video that you're watching. So this is the second recording of Jessica's interview. Jessica was the first person I actually sat down, recorded Jessica, did the whole interview, an amazing interview, y'all. Only to end the interview and none of the footage saved. Well, some of it. So we was recording from two phones, but I wasn't recording the whole thing from a phone. Oh, I'm giving y'all all these details, like y'all know, but whatever. But what you see of Jessica's first original interview is what you see in the trailers that I have of her and Darian, some of the first trailers that I posted, so you can go back and see see some of it. It was an amazing interview, but y'all, the interview didn't have any of the entire interview, so had to reshoot her. Reshoot, that's a word. Whatever. Had to redo her interview. Oh, I gotta do better. God, I gotta do better. Had to redo her interview. Redid the interview about 3 weeks after doing the original one. And right now, I just gotta stop and pause and encourage somebody, because in just 3 weeks, Jessica's going through. She's still going through. And even in doing her new interview, she's still going through. But in just 3 weeks, her and I, you guys didn't see the first interview, so you won't see it. But for her and I, we was like, girl, you look different, different than 3 weeks ago than when we first did this. In just 3 weeks. So I'm here to encourage somebody. Y'all, for me, a year ago today, where I am today, I couldn't see myself being. Y'all, was homeless a year ago today. For real homeless. Now, I wasn't in a shelter, but for sure could have ended up there. Was for real home. Did I have a car? Oh, okay. Yeah, I had my car. I'm tripping. I'm good now, y'all. I'm good. Well, listen, if you're good today, you can be bad tomorrow. So I'm so grateful for I am. But definitely in a much better place. Of course, a year ago today, I couldn't see how I was going to be where I am now. And of course, a year ago today, April, my situation started turning a few months after that. But I couldn't see it. And so now to see today, what's today? The 21st? I believe today's 21st. To see that today's the 21st, and if I go back just a year from today, I couldn't see that this is where God was going to have me. And like, wow, God, you brought me out. And I couldn't see it then. I believe God. I trust God with everything in me. But the human in me was like, I can't even look to see, oh, next year it'll be better. I need to be ready today. You hear me? I ain't got time to say, oh, next year I'll be better. No, today I'm homeless. Where am I staying? Who can I stay with? Where am I going? But just to encourage somebody, I don't know where you are right now. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what you're waiting for to happen, you know, to the brighter days that you're waiting for. I don't know whoever's watching this, if you're listening to this right now, I don't know what you're asking God to do, or what you're trusting him to do, or what you have stopped trusting him to do, and what you have stopped asking him to do because you don't believe. But what I do want to encourage you from just Jessica's story, from my own story, better days are coming. They are. As cliche as that may sound, they're coming. For one, they have to come. You can't, life isn't bad consistently. Bad is happening now. Good has to come. And for those of us that's doing good, we're doing good now, bad has to come too. So it's about learning to be content in all those seasons, the good and the bad season, because they change and they flip-flop. We can see that with the world. 2020 was crazy for the world. And whether COVID was going to hit or not, life was still going to hit people. Bad was still going to hit people, whether COVID would have happened or not. So just to even see how the world can be up, the world can be down, our lives can be up, our lives can be down. So if you are down right now, as cliche again as it may sound, your situation is going to change. I don't know when. It can change in a few months. It can change in a few hours, in a few seconds, in a few years. I don't know, but it changes. So if you're waiting for the change, you keep your hope in that. You keep your faith in that it does change. It does get better. So you wake up every day and you take every day, day by day. Sometimes you got to take hour by hour, but you do it. So again, I know you guys can't see Jessica's original interview. I lost it. The devil. Can't see her original interview, but this is her second interview. But just in 3 weeks, a 3 weeks different from her original interview to now, and she's really hurting, guys. There was change, there was hope. So I want to give that to you. I hope you get that. Love on people, treat people right. You just love on people just to love on them. Don't worry about none of that. Let's get out of this selfishness. Just love on them. They can be the scum of the earth, bad or whatever. Let them deal with what they got to deal with what they got to reap, what they got to sow. You just be good. You just love on people. I know I have an incident. I just got from Jamaica, y'all. That's why I'm all like, y'all, I'm tired. I was like, dang, should I put up the lights and get the mic? Because anybody who has been here, who I have interviewed, hey, this Tyler Perry Jr. studio. Tyler Perry Studio Jr. Tyler Perry Jr. Studio. Whatever. But hey, I set it up. You hear me? Get the lights up, the mics up, everything. I set it up. I'm tired from traveling. I'm tired. So I was like, hey, I'm about to just do this little workout. Let me let these people know why these 2 interviews looking different. They are different interviews. This is still the same girl, Jessica, from the trailers that you may see. And then also to encourage you how her and I, we both saw the difference in her. So stay on your journey, stay on your healing journey. It's things are going to get better. Keep fighting for whatever you're fighting for. Last year, I wasn't. My phone keep going. That means I need to stop talking. Love on people, be good to people. Enjoy this interview, but stay encouraged.
Use all this pain, use all this hurt, grow me.
First thing, tell us about Jessica. Who's Jessica?
You know, I didn't think of that question. Again, it's funny because I was like, she's not going to ask me that. But I guess I'll say what I said before. I don't know. And Jessica is... Why is it? It's just as hard as last time to explain who I am. Jessica is outgoing, adventurous, a foodie. Jessica is the product of a teenage parent. Jessica is the oldest of her siblings. I said I'm outgoing.
You must be really outgoing then.
I'm a caterer. I'm loving. I'm defined by majority of my friends as the strong friend.
Okay. Is that something you would define yourself to as?
Yes, but I've kind of sort of started putting something negative on the word strong.
For yourself or for strong in general?
For people who define themselves as strong when it comes to emotions.
Okay, you want to go into that?
Yes, I can. Because when you're labeled the strong person or the stronger person, I think people tend to hurt you more in a sense because they feel like you can take it. They feel like you can take it. It's an excuse. And I heard somebody else say that. It was a video clip I was watching. It was saying how saying someone is a strong black woman, they use the word toxic, could be a toxic trait. And it made me think of a time in college when I was talking to a guy, and he was like, Jessica, you just can take things differently. So I told you because you can take it in a sense. And I was like, no, it still hurts. Like, I hear you, I understand, but ouch. So lately I've been taking strong as a negative.
I definitely relate to that. Okay, have you ever been broken?
Yes.
You have?
Yes.
Okay, you want to elaborate that? Is it a place where brokenness start for you? Did it start somewhere?
I can't think of a place where brokenness start. Can I say that? We talked about it last time, and because we talked about it last time, I think of that. But last time when we were discussing a place where brokenness start, I really couldn't think of a place until later on. I had an aha moment.
From where it started?
From where, not where it started, but the first time I can think about a time where someone broke me and it made me cry.
You want to go on?
Yes, it was my father. I was probably 24, 25, living in Great Lakes, Illinois. And I had been living there for probably about 7 months. And my dad called me on the 4th of July, or close to the 4th of July, asking me, like, oh, come over on the 4th. And I hadn't talked to him. It was July. I probably hadn't talked to him since September. So, and in September, when I talked to him, I was telling him that I was moving to Great Lakes, Illinois. And I hadn't heard from him until July. So the fact that he didn't know where I was, and he was like, oh, I thought maybe we could get together. And I was just like, you don't know where I am, you don't know this. And I cried. Yeah, I cried. He was, my father, my biological father is really mellow. Really doesn't really show much emotion. So he was like, you upset? You angry? Why are you mad? Like he really didn't understand. And he just doesn't understand.
So then what do you do after that? Did you heal from that?
Are
you healed from that?
My definition of healed, whether it's
please elaborate on what your definition of healed.
I let it go. I called my mom crying, and my mom was like, "You let him make you cry?" For lack of better words. And I called my great aunt, and we prayed about it. And I say my definition of healing because that day I chose to leave him alone and not worry about him, not worrying about him knowing where I was or how I was doing, not worrying about connecting myself to him. And I did for a really long time. Like,
you did what for?
Stopped talking to my biological father for a long time. That was 2013.
Okay.
The first time after that I talked to my biological father was 2019, December.
So are you in a different place at this point? Like, are you in a different place with him, or what's?
Okay, so
are we healed, or are we just?
So I thought I was. So I could, if you asked me this question in 19, and I'm gonna say July of 19, okay, or even the beginning of December of 19, I would say yes, I'm healed. Okay. But it was more so because I didn't care. He wasn't someone I necessarily said I cared about. Like, I used to think out of sight, out of mind. Out of sight. It wasn't even out of sight, out of mind. Even if he was in my sight, I didn't feel like I would care. Like, I have had the conversation before, like, Jessica, if somebody was to call you and tell you something happened to your father, what would your response be? And I felt like I would say, oh, okay. And that would be the end of it. Didn't feel like I would cry. I didn't feel like I would be like, oh, I should have developed this relationship. I didn't feel like I would feel any of that. Today you're asking me, but that comes with another story, Shayna.
We want all stories.
Okay, today you're asking me, and I feel like I want to say that I wouldn't care, but I feel like for my daughter, I care a little bit.
About your dad?
Yes.
Wow.
But just really a little bit. Don't wow like that.
No.
But just a little. Only because with my daughter, I thought I could give him a second chance of fatherhood with her, to do right by her. But I thought. So that December conversation I had with him, it got heated. I saw that he just really doesn't understand, like, when people say ignorance is bliss, he just really doesn't get it. And in that conversation, because I realized he didn't get it, I chose to let go of trying to get him to get it, because you have to meet people where they are, in a sense. Okay. So I chose to let go that he didn't get it, and let the conversation of why you weren't this and that to me, let that go and start new.
Start new with him, or just start new in general?
Start new with him, because I understood where he was coming from. Now, I didn't understand where he was coming from. I understood that he just really didn't know. He didn't know how to, I guess, be what I wanted him to be, or be what I thought he should be.
That's good.
So that's what came from the conversation in December, because in that conversation he tells me how. So my mom was married. I have a stepdad. Or had a stepdad. I still call him my stepdad, even though they're not together anymore. But his whole look on it, he was like, you had a father, why did you need me? And that's what he told me. And that made me angry. But then I was like, Jessica, that's where his mind, that's what he thinks. So I let it go. And then with telling him that I was pregnant, we laughed. it seemed like we were good, like we were going to be good. We discussed going fishing again. He taught me how to fish. We discussed doing things that we previously done, but that changed again. I invited him to my baby shower. I reminded them about the baby shower, and I'm saying them because he has a girlfriend, but I reminded them about the baby shower, and he didn't show up. And in that day, I wasn't dwelling on, oh, my daddy not here. No, I was just like, but the day later, I thought about it and I texted him. I was like, what happened to you? And he just responded, you know your daddy.
Oh, okay, that's where he is.
That's where he is. Yeah. And I was just like, no, I don't. And I haven't spoken to him since that text. I didn't tell him when she was born, but he knows. I didn't tell him when her father passed, but he knows. He didn't reach out to me. I was told that he has this, it sounds so dumb, I'm sorry. His thing is, when I was born, not too long after I met his mom, she passed. Mm-hmm. So some way, somehow, he relates that to meeting Marley and him. I don't understand it. So he's broken. But I'm not gonna continuously extend an olive branch just to continuously be hurt. I'm gonna use the word hurt, just to continuously be hurt. So I'm at a place where it's like, okay, it is what it is with him.
So after that with your dad, is there any other incident of brokenness then?
Yes. Well, this started from the first time. So the first time was that night in Chicago. Okay. Everything else I discussed was just now in 2019 to 2020. But the something that broke me the most, well, other than that, the passing of my great aunt, Eula, that really hurt. She's like my grandmother. She introduced me to the church. She was, I must say, my backbone. The person I cry on, the person I call, as you can see in that instance, I said, I called my mom and she told me to call my auntie. She's my great aunt. So I called my great aunt. So when she passed, that really hurt. That was she was my best friend. So that hurt. And then November 16th, 2020, the father of my child was killed, passed away. And that's a different type of pain. That's a different type of pain.
What you mean? Elaborate on different. Because
he is the father of my, at the time, she was going on 2-month-old child. So it's you make plans with that person. You discuss how you're going to raise your child. You discuss what you're going to do with your child. You discuss values you want your child to have. You discuss all these things, like who's going to be the disciplinarian and not even know it. You discuss all of those things. And for him to leave me, how I said that, for him to leave me, it hurts. I hurt for her because she won't remember him. We have pictures, but she won't remember him. She just have to get stories from people of who he was, how he was, the type of person he was. So that's just a different pain. It's different. So
where are you in your pain now?
I'm still in it.
Yeah.
I don't know where I am in it. Some days I'm up, some days I'm down. Just yesterday is probably the last time I would go to where he was staying, his house. But the day before that, I thought that would be the last time. And when I pulled up, I just got a rush of emotions and I started to cry.
Because what are you feeling?
Because that's like the last, I'm not gonna say it was the last piece of him because she's a piece of him, but we have a lot of memories there. We have memories there. Marley was conceived there in a sense. But it was like the closing of what was his, what he was happy he stayed there. He took pride in where he stayed. So it was the closing of what was his. Like it was kind of like burying him in a sense again. So I made little videos for Marley though. Just a video like, this is where your dad stayed. This is the backyard. He used to run here. He used to do that. Just, I don't know. I don't know if it'll mean anything, but I just felt like I should document that for whatever reason.
So do you believe healing comes with this?
Yes,
Okay.
I believe it comes, but I believe it's going to take time,
Okay.
but I believe it comes.
Is it something that you're looking forward to?
Do I want to heal?
Not even healing, but is it something like, when does this end? Are you what when it comes to the healing? Is it something that you're waiting for, or is it something where you just like, with the time it'll come?
With the time, it'll come.
Okay.
I won't say I'm waiting for it, because people say that it, you know, things take time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the, oh, do I think it's going to come? So that's why I think it's going to come, because people say things take time. But when I look, or when I think about my future, I don't know how you move past it, but I know women have moved past it. So I feel like eventually you get there. But
And your daughter would like to be a part of the interview, sounds like.
yes, thank you, Mama. Yes, I'm
She's
talking
telling
about
you
your
that
father.
healing does come.
Yes, it's gonna be okay. Thank you. So in that aspect, that's why I think it'll happen. So it's not necessarily like I look forward to this. Well, I do look forward to it. Just not to hurt, or not to have a memory and it triggers a cry.
Okay. Okay. So the hope of the healing is what keeps you.
Yes.
Like, it gotta come.
It has to.
Okay. Where are you now today then in heartbreak? What would you say to Jessica?
I'm still hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like every day brings on something. Like every street I ride down, I think about this man. My ride to work, I think about this man. Granted, I have his daughter, so people be like, oh, you look at her, you think about him. Things she do. People say she moves fast. So how fast she moves, it makes me think about him, because he swears he was a genius. So I'd be like, well, I guess maybe he was a genius if she's moving this fast or whatever. And then when she does stuff, I think about what his reaction would be to it, because I know he would have loved. He loved the little things she did when it really wasn't much, but she's this, she's that. His mom always says he came to her one day and was like, "Ma, she's strong. She's real strong. Like, you don't know. Wait until you meet her. She's strong." And at this point, she's probably like 3 weeks or something, and he's like, "She's strong. Like, boy, that's nothing." And it's just little things. I think of today. I was thinking about the last photo I sent him. He was actually dead when I sent the photo, but I didn't know. That's just throughout the day I used to send photos. But it was me trying to slick her hair down. And I was like, first time she getting her hair slicked down. And I was just waiting on his slick comeback, or him to laugh at it. And then the picture before that was me at the beach. I was about to walk her. So it's a picture of her and her stroller and the beach in the background, because me and her was about to walk the beach. And the week before she was born, me and him walked the beach. So that was just, walking was our thing while I was pregnant or whatever. So, but you asked me what was my...
What would you say to Jessica when it comes to pain and heartbreak?
Be patient. Be patient. When you cry, it's okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel. You don't have to be that strong person that people know you to be. Nothing is, I'm gonna use the word weird, because sometimes I do things and I'd be like, is this weird? Okay. And just things I plan on doing, I'd be like, Jessica, is that weird that you want to do that? But it's not weird if that's how I'm choosing to cope, if that's how I'm choosing to deal with it, it's how I'm choosing to deal with it. And don't let nobody make me feel as if I'm wrong for this, or I need to stop doing this, because if I don't stop, then I'll never get over this. But if that's my coping, that's how I cope.
Yeah, we all cope differently.
Yes, we all cope differently.
You have something to say to future Jessica? You didn't have anything the first time.
Oh, I did. And it's funny because in this one, I was like, I don't know what to say to her, but definitely patience is a virtue.
Patience in what? Is it patience? You tell her patience, but patience in what?
And feel, I guess, because I'm talking about coping.
Okay.
So feel, do what you feel. If you feel like this will help you, do it.
So the patience in not rushing the healing.
Yes.
That what it is? Okay.
Hey, mama.
So then I know I asked before, but what would you leave with younger girls and younger boys?
Oh.
When it comes to heartbreak and also when it comes to love.
I would tell them that heartbreak is inevitable. Whether it's your father, who's the first person to break your heart, whether it's the mother, it can be a family member. Heartbreak is inevitable. But it's no hole is too deep to climb out of if you really want to climb out of it.
That's good.
That was a different gym than last time.
And I have to ask, that's good. And I say that's good because you're in your hole.
I'm definitely in my hole.
You just kind of threw me. So there's no hole too deep to climb. You just threw me. You're in your hole.
I'm in my hole.
But you would give somebody that advice that there's no hole too deep to climb out of.
Mm-hmm. That's my hope, though.
Mm.
Because I'm going to climb out of my hole. You got tears this time. You got them last time, but I was like, I'm not going to cry this time, but I'm going to climb out of it.
Oh, you're throwing me. Okay. That's your hope. But that's what hope is.
That is.
Oh my God. Okay. That's exactly what hope is. Okay, I'm sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, we don't have.
No, so you would tell younger kids that no hole is too deep to climb.
No hole is too deep to climb out of.
Okay, and I'm sorry. That actually touched me. That somebody in a hole can say that. So that's deep.
But that comes. That's something I would tell Shane if he was here. So.
Okay, so I hear you saying that. Why would you tell him that?
Because I don't think he really knew that. I think he knew he could be better, I'm gonna say, or I think he knew that, but I don't think he really felt it. Like sometimes he felt like, I've messed up so much, I don't know how to make things right. Or I tried to make things right, but things still aren't right. That's why patience and that hole go hand in hand, because 365 days is a long time. And some people were in a really dark place 365 days ago. And once that year came about, they were beyond what they thought they would be. So you just have to be patient, and you'll get out of that hole, but just be patient. I'm not going to say trust the process, because people always say trust the process, but it's not necessarily. I'm going to say that when I say the process, it's just the process of life. If you doing what you're supposed to be doing and trying, as long as you continue to try, you going to get out of that hole. You going to end up, you might not end up where you want to be. You might end up beyond where you want to be. And in this can go a whole different way. Like, I don't know. The other day I was talking about my degrees and how I don't use them. But yet, people still perceive me as successful. And I look at myself and I don't see that I am where I want to be. And I downplay my success. And it's like, I need to tell myself, no, girl, you good. You got it. You're good. It might not be where you thought you would be, but you're still good. Like, you're good. And you are your worst critic. And so I have to tell myself, you're good. And it's okay if you're not where you want to be. It's okay where you're not where you want to be. You digging. That's cool. You're coming out of that hole. Hey, mama, say hi. You're coming out of that hole. Be patient. Coming out of that hole.
Oh, don't smile and be my friend now. No, don't do that now. You don't want to cry in the background, mess up the whole interview.
Say nah.
So then, okay, I know I asked you about giving advice to younger girls and younger boys, but now you just took me to a place. So to that person that feels like shame, to the shame that don't feel like they can climb out of their hole, what would you say to that person?
You can climb out of your hole. I guess I gotta say more than that though. Be patient with yourself. Don't be hard on yourself.
What about the people around those people?
Um,
How should we view them?
To the people around those people, don't kick someone while they're down. Give them a hand. Put your hand in that hole and ask for their hand and say, I'm with you. I got you. We're gonna do this together.
And then to the person in that hole though, how do you want them to view the people around them though?
Don't look at taking help as a form of weakness. Don't look at, and I'm gonna kind of be saying this to a man, because a man feels like when a woman helps him, he's less than a man. It's funny, we had this, I was just talking about this last night. When a woman helps him, he's less than a man. You're not less than a man. As a woman, to the men we love, whether that's the person we're with, our friend, to the men we love, helping you is something we love to do if it's going to put you in a better place. And if we're feeding a dream, if we're feeding a desire, if we're feeding just what we think your purpose is, it brings us joy to help. It's okay. We feel great because you're able to come to us to actually say, hey, I need help. Can you help me with this? Whether it's financial, whether it's support, whether it's spiritual, even if you say pray for me, all of that, like asking for help doesn't make you less than. It doesn't.
Because I asked that for the person that's in the hole, because sometimes we don't pay attention to our circle, or we don't even realize how much help we have there. So to that person that's in that hole, what do I want? That's what I'm saying. For you on that end, what do you tell them for the people that really are around you that you may be missing, that the help is closer to you? Think?
Yeah. Don't worry about who's not there. I'm speaking to myself right now.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Don't worry about who's not there. Don't worry about who's not there.
What you been dealing with?
I think about, I'm gonna say friendships. And I think about her father's friends. And I think about the people who are there, that's his friend. And I think about the people who aren't there, who I guess thought would be there, and I kind of haven't heard from them. And I get angry. And I shouldn't. Well, I'm not going to say what I should or shouldn't do, but I'm saying I shouldn't, because I should focus on the people that have been there, the ones that check on Marley, the ones after the chaos, the people that are still there. Don't worry about the ones that aren't there. That's crazy.
You keep having nuggets. So
we keep going back. I know. It's funny because in the car I was just saying that I might send a text just to be like, hey, stranger. But at the end of the day, should I? I can't answer that.
To people that's not there?
No, it's not even people, it's a person. It's just who I felt like, the person he was always with, the person who he told me his best friend, the person. It's just I felt that I would hear from that person more. And even not because I need anything, because I don't need anything, but just she's his only child. Just to say, how is she? Does she need anything? And she doesn't need anything. I have a great village, and I guess that's why it's speaking to me. My village is great. And the people that were in his life that are still around, they're great as well. So why do I give that person so much energy? I don't know, but I feel like he gave that person so much energy. And because he gave that person so much energy, the fact that that person isn't around right now, and granted, it's been, 5 months? November, December, January, February, March, 4 months. It's going to be 4 months. So I guess it's still time for the person to come around. It's always still time, and I'm always going to be open to that. But it's just on Christmas I didn't get a Marley didn't get a Merry Christmas, and I get it. She don't know, but just focus on the people that are there.
So then
Don't worry about who's not there. Whew.
So then to the younger boys and girls, what are your advice? Dealing with pain and love.
I was saying heartbreak is inevitable. But still love like you've never been hurt. Try not to be the person that inflicts the pain. And sometimes you can't help, you don't try to hurt people, and you do sometimes. And that's inevitable as well. Heartbreak is inevitable, hurt is inevitable, but still just try to give love.
Anything you want to say to Marley?
Marley, mommy loves you.
Okay.
Your dad loves you. He loved you too.
Seen big pain, big loss, but still been big blessed. All that cat, big stress. All y'all want big house, big car, big ice, big checks. Man, I wish y'all did this.